Tonight, we step into something raw, vast, and utterly unforgiving. Life in the Roman Empire. But not as a senator, not as a general. There's no golden laurel on your brow, no marble baths waiting. Tonight, you're not Julius Caesar. You're just you. Dropped, unprepared, into the grit and grind of everyday existence in ancient Rome. A world of sandals, sewage, and state-sponsored crucifixion. Before we dive in, take a second to like the video and subscribe, but only if you truly enjoy these journeys into the past. And drop a comment below letting me know where you're watching from and what time it is. It's always incredible to see this little digital campfire stretch across the world. Now dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that gentle background. And settle in as we begin tonight's descent into Roman reality. You open your eyes to chaos, shouting voices, clucking chickens, and a baby wailing somewhere down the hall. Welcome to your new home. A Roman insula, the ancient world's answer to an apartment complex. Think of it as a stack of kindling and plaster, barely held together by hope and cheap labor. You're on the 3rd or 4th floor, which, in Rome, means you're poor and unlucky. The higher the floor, the weaker the structure. Spill too much oil upstairs, and someone might end up wearing their neighbor's ceiling. Your room is smaller than a walk-in closet. The walls sweat in the summer and freeze in the winter. No windows, just a hole to let in some air, maybe some smoke, and whatever bird decides to visit. Your mattress is straw, possibly moving. Your blanket smells like damp wool and choices you now regret. There's no furniture. No art, no kitchen. Cooking inside is illegal, too risky. One wrong flame and the whole building turns into a bonfire. You own a clay cup, a worn tunic, and if you're lucky, a wooden comb. That's it. And your bathroom? A chamber pot in the B corner, judging you from the shadows. When it fills, you'll lug it down narrow, creaking stairs and pour it into the street gutter, careful not to join the city's waste with your own broken ankle. As for soundproofing, non-existent. You hear your neighbors arguing, praying, coughing, and unfortunately not arguing if you catch my drift. The air is thick, a mix of smoke, mildew, sweat, and the ripe scent of Rome's unwashed thousands. Someone's baking bread downstairs, but it's not for you. Outside, vendors yell about figs and fish guts. A centurion barks orders at a man who's probably already bleeding, and you haven't even made it out the door yet. You've survived the death trap stairs. Congratulations. Now comes your next pressing issue. Your bladder. With no private bathroom, no sink, and no dignity, you shuffle toward the latrina, the Roman public toilet. And public is a generous word. It's basically a social mixer for strangers who are fine making eye contact mid-defecation. A stone bench with holes carved in it stretches before you. Beneath it, a shallow channel of water slowly carries away Rome's shame. You take a seat if you dare, and hope the man next to you isn't in a talking mood. Spoiler, he is. Privacy isn't a thing. Doors don't exist. It's more of a chat room with acoustics. A merchant discusses grain prices. A retired soldier rants about his back pain. Across from you, a man chews olives and won't break eye contact. And then, the real treat, the tersorium, a communal, sponge on a stick, sitting in a bucket of vinegar or salt water. In theory, you rinse it before use. In practice? Well, let's just say the sponge has seen things, unspeakable things. You wipe. Hesitantly. Praying the vinegar did its job. If you're lucky, you brought your own rag. If you're rich, maybe even some imported moss. But odds are, you used what everyone else did, and now carry the quiet shame of communal hygiene. It's a bond, an unholy one. And if you're thinking about skipping this whole sponge-on-a-stick ritual by sneaking into an alley, think again. Public urination is illegal. Fines are steep. And Roman law enforcement, let's just say gentle warning, isn't in their vocabulary. You finish up and go to wash your hands. Except, no. There's no soap, no running water. Just a communal rinse basin that's seen more fingers than a handshake contest. You leave the latrina feeling lighter and a little more dead inside. But hey, welcome to Rome. Now it's time for breakfast. Or something vaguely resembling it. Congratulations. You've survived bodily functions without contracting plague or being fined. Now you earn your reward, the Roman ientaculum, or as I like to call it, the ceremonial disappointment. Your options? 2. Stale bread and watered-down wine. That's it. Maybe there's a scrap of cheese or a tired olive if yesterday's market didn't go badly. But usually it's just carbs and regret. Forget coffee. The Romans didn't know it existed. No eggs, no meat, no oats, no granola, no oat milk lattes. This meal isn't designed to energize you. It's designed to not kill you. Your bread is panis rusticus, a hard, chewy lump of grain and rock fragments that doubles as a self-defense weapon. It's been baked, possibly yesterday, or the day before. It's got the texture of floor tile and the flavor of defeat. The wine? Watered down. Even the Romans knew day drinking before sunrise was a cry for help. Unless you were a senator, of course. There's no kitchen in your apartment, so you squat beside a public fountain, nibbling your edible brick, while watching equally unenthused citizens do the same. Occasionally, someone brightens their meal with garum, Rome's famously potent fermented fish sauce, a decision that turns blandness into a mouthful of salt and sorrow. If you were rich, maybe there'd be figs, or honey. But you're not. You're just rich enough not to be enslaved, and just poor enough to stare longingly at someone else's goat milk. Sometimes, vendors walk by with hot chickpea fritters or honey pastries, and for a fleeting moment, hope flutters. But then you remember. Your coin pouch is emptier than a gladiator's sympathy. So, you chew, slowly, and pretend it's cake. This is how your day begins. Stale bread, mild dehydration, and the slow realization that you're about to walk 7 miles in thin leather sandals with nothing but crumbs and last night's regret in your stomach. And now, it's time for work. After your luxurious breakfast of carbs and despair, it's off to face the Roman workday. Let's be clear, unless you're a senator, a poet with a rich patron, or you lucked out and inherited land from some uncle who died mysteriously, you are working. And you're working hard. You might be a laborer, a porter, a bricklayer, a street sweeper, or, if fate's really having fun, a sewer worker. Because Rome might be beautiful, but it's also full of people, and someone's got to build its roads, clean its gutters, fix its baths, and haul its waste. That someone? You, with your bare hands. Under the merciless sun, wearing sandals that provide the same support as a piece of soggy lettuce. The Roman workday starts early. The sun's barely up. But your foreman? Already screaming in Latin and waving a stick. You're late? Your doctor's note means nothing. This is Rome, not a union. You're docked a day's pay, or worse, beaten, shamed, or fired. And in Roman terms, fired means starving, with honor. Your tools? Primitive. You dig with a shovel made of splinters and hope. You carry bricks on your back. You haul water from a cistern that smells like old socks, spoiled fish, and ambition. There are no gloves, no helmets, no labor rights, just sweat, dust, and the ever-present awareness that one wrong step could crush your spine and your career in one loud snap. If you're a craftsman, good luck. There are hundreds of others just like you selling identical clay pots, sandals, and half-stitched tunics. Undercutting is rampant. Quality doesn't matter. All it takes is one rich guy deciding he doesn't like your face, and your stall's done. And elevated jobs? Messenger, accountant, teacher? Also miserable. If you're a messenger, you're sprinting through crowded, chaotic streets with scrolls tucked under your arm, praying no dog eats your calf muscle. Accountants spend the day writing numbers for someone who won't remember their name. And teaching? You're stuck in a dusty room trying to drill Latin into the heads of spoiled senators' kids who already think they're gods. And yes, women work too. Spinning, weaving, selling vegetables, running market stalls, raising children, managing households, surviving childbirth, multitasking before it was cool or optional. And after all this, you might get a short break for lunch. That is, if your supervisor isn't in a bad mood, or trying to impress a visiting prefect with how efficient he is. So yes, you work, or you die trying. Rome may be eternal, but your back definitely isn't. You've made it through the morning without fainting, bleeding, or being flogged. Congratulations. Now, comes your next challenge. The Roman street. Imagine a place designed by someone who personally hated cleanliness, order, and your well-being. Picture it. The sun's high, the city's buzzing, and the street is alive. Not in a poetic, lively way, in a biologically active way. Rats, flies, stray dogs, loose goats, beggars, merchants yelling in 6 languages, children running feral, thieves, offering to help an old lady across the road while quietly emptying her purse. It's like Times Square. If Times Square had no plumbing, more livestock, and everyone was carrying a live chicken. Let's talk infrastructure. Roman roads were feats of engineering, perfectly straight, expertly paved, and currently overflowing, with a cocktail of urine, wine, vomit, animal waste, and last night's failed garum experiment. The center of the road? It's an open sewer. Step off the raised curb without looking and bam, your sandal just got baptized in the holy waters of human misery.